Okay, deep bow and very sincere, wholehearted welcome to everyone who is here. Um, you are invited to turn on your camera and share your camera during this time if you're here on the Discord server. Today, we are coming together to practice Dharma sharing group. And I put in the description announcing this event that this is a place to share very deeply from the heart. It is a place to listen very deeply from the heart. And it's something that we do in community, in spiritual community. A lot of the time in our normal everyday life, we may not be around people that are very interested in spirituality or meditation or Buddhism or following precepts, living a virtuous life. So, in a Dharma sharing group, when we come together like this, we have the chance to be heard by members of our Sangha, members of our community, and also to listen to those members. It is a kind of generosity where we share what is most valuable to us, which is, of course, our experience, right? Our body mind experience is what we are most often clenched around or holding on to very tightly. We're doing our best to keep our body and mind experience to be the way we want it to be. And recognizing that when we have this chance to share, to offer our experience, to be vulnerable, to be exposed in the safety of spiritual community, it's not just about you. It's not just about being heard, but it's also offering out that vulnerability and offering out what you're going through so that other people may be inspired to share what they're going through or to take a more compassionate, open-hearted look at their own difficulties that they're going through that may be very similar to yours. So Dharma sharing is a meditative experience. So we can come to our breathing, to our body, to our present moment awareness. We can settle there. And whatever comes alive in us, whatever is there present in us at that moment, at this moment, we have the chance to share. And this is a sharing that is not much focused on crosstalk, not so much having a discussion as making an offering and that deep listening to hear what our community members might be going through or experiencing in their practice. Now, because we have a small group, we can be even more open or flexible about how we do this practice. So if you want to ask a question, then that's fine. If you want to ask a question to me or pose a question to the group, that's fine. And we may also take the time to introduce ourselves and say a little bit about our spiritual path, how we got to where we are, um, and being open about a little bit about our identity so we can feel to know each other. We are all on this path together. We are recognizing suffering. We're recognizing that there's a cause of suffering or multiple causes of suffering, which it's like we tend to be very greedy. We can tend to be quite angry. We can tend to be quite delusional, non practical, complicated thinking, right? And so we recognize that, and we also recognize that there's an ending of suffering, that peace is possible, peace is realistic, that this mind is the mind of peace. This mind is the mind of the Buddha, and that there is a path to that recognition. There is a path to that enlightenment. So, in a very deep and meaningful way, we are all on this path together, and it's very supportive if we can get to know each other. And even there's some element about getting to know about other people who are on the path in the present moment. There's a resiliency there, knowing that you're not alone on this journey, and that it's not a vague journey. It's a human experience that we're all going through, and we take refuge in each other as people walking the path. Any questions about this practice, or if anyone's familiar with Dharma sharing, maybe something you want to share about it, something that I didn't touch on? And we'll go one by one. Now, a very strong benefit of our gatherings, our community activities, is the vulnerability, right? A lot of people aren't comfortable to be on camera. A lot of people aren't comfortable to be in a sacred space, or um, a kind of sensitive space, such as a spiritual gathering, right? Or at a meditation center, or at a temple. So here, be as vulnerable as you can be, and that's going to bring a lot of benefits to your practice. You share your presence, you offer it out, you expose yourself. Well, we'll start. We'll start with 3 sounds of the bell, and then we'll open it up, and we can go one by one. Whoever wants to go first can start. Okay. And usually the way we format this is we can bow in. So when we want to start, we can bow in. And if you're just on audio, you can say, hey, this is Jonathan bowing in, and then share your experience. Okay. So let's listen to 3 sounds of the bell.
Mm.
Okay, Gloria, you can begin if you like.
Okay. My name is Gloria, and the reason why I'm interested in Zen meditation because before I came, I was doing a whole lot of things and was leaving control and having problems with my patient with certain people, and that is not me. I usually I'm quiet and I like to speak when I really have something to say. Um, it has done wonders for me. I enjoy meditation. I try to do it the first thing in the morning because the first thing in the morning, it when I finish meditation, I feel very relaxed, in control, and I'm really interested in also moving forward. I try it, but it's not working. Try to meditate with my eyes open, and I'm easily distracted. It's something that's a work in progress. Um, I'm at peace, even when I'm around people that I think they go out their way to push my buttons, but I'm at peace. I always approach meetings and stuff with peace, love, no matter what, because to have peace, to be in control is a choice. And after my meditation, I pray. I usually do it before, but mainly I like it after I pray to show my gratification and also to be thankful. And I'm approaching my responsibilities with more love towards others, and I see the respond. It's not that I was mean to them, but out of the 30 years, it just seemed like everything was attacking me until I start getting agitated. But it doesn't bother me now, not now. And what I do, um, I'm a chaplain in a hospital, but right now I'm doing home visit or emergency call out. My what I enjoy doing is my community work. I work with the church. Well, starting this year, it's all denominations that's on Staten Island. We working on our 2024 new vision, and I'm going to be dealing with more youth in the community. But I'm not by myself. The youth committee has their own leader, but they will be involved in a lot of community things that's going on. I'm also involved with small business. Um, I don't know what business yet, but I'm there to learn. Um, and most of the business leaders are women, and that's inspiring to me. Um, it has been an experience to me to learn and understanding denomination. Um, I don't judge. I know who I believe in. That's the most important thing. But I sit at the table in community meetings with different denomination and some non-denomination. The whole purpose is about helping the people that's suffering, helping to strengthen the community. So a leader with in the police department, and I feel that, and also I feel that no matter what, all people, no matter where they are, we all need help. We all need someone to embrace us and treat us kind. There's so much evil going on, and it's disturbing to me because evil just make you miserable. But I still pray and still have faith that we will one day embrace each other, and not because there's a tragedy. So I just, what's disturbing right now is this war, but we're working on it as a community, trying to bring peace on both sides. But if we just let our guards down and just meditate and to get ourselves ready first to be able to approach issues, I think it would be a better world. And that's something that I would like to bring to the table, but I'm not advancing meditation. I have to find a leader because some meetings I'm in, we pray before we start, but we need to be able to come in and sit down and be still, be mindful before we approach um, anything in a meeting. And I'm working on that. 2004 is going to bring challenging a challenge in the community, but I'm willing because I enjoy doing it. It's a volunteer job, but I've been doing that for a long time. And the chaplain, where I deal with clients, is not a volunteer job, and that I have learned a lot. I think some doing hospice really took me by surprise because it worked on my spirit. Being around so many sick people, knowing that they dying, and trying to show love to everyone, but I didn't guard myself, so it burnt me out. So I just ask people when you wake up in the morning, first thing, to feel grateful, and I choose to be happy no matter what. Trouble will always come. That's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you very much, Gloria, for your sharing. Maybe we'll listen to one sound of the bell before we go to the next sharing. And as we hear the sound of the bell, we can um, invite our clear mind, invite our fresh mind to be at the forefront of our experience. Sometimes we can say the sound of the bell is none other than the voice of the Buddha. Okay, bowing in. So I am Bante Warapanyo, the initiator of this community, monk life meditation community. I feel quite hopeful and I feel quite good recently with my practice. My practice is to follow the precepts, so to really deeply emphasize a life that does less actions that cause suffering for myself and others, and do more actions that cause good effects or peace for myself and for others. And I was going through a little bit of difficulty here at the temple where I'm staying because wasn't I wasn't careful enough. I wasn't aware enough about my surroundings, and because this temple is different from my tradition, there are certain ways of doing things and certain boundaries that I could have been more aware of, and I wasn't. And I think that rubbed some people the wrong way and rubbed me the wrong way, you know. But I had the recent opportunity to go and join a um, 7-day intensive meditation retreat in New Mexico, and also to see a dear friend of mine who's a yogi, a long term meditator, very devoted meditator and vegan, who's actually given a talk for our community before. Kieran is his name. And doing that retreat and having some experiences, spending some time with him, really put me in a heart mind space that feels a lot more open, a lot more flexible, a lot more interested in expressing my respect for everything, for animals, for the people that I'm around, for even the non-living things that are around me, objects. What's very alive for me right now is this balance between uh, nourishing my own heart, nourishing my own practice, and working for others, and how somehow those things are, they're certainly not separate, but that sometimes nourishing my own practice may restrict me from working for others, and sometimes uh, working for others may restrict me from nourishing myself. And I want to find the balance point, or the continuous practice point between those two things. And I don't really want to um, cheap out on either one of them, because for me they really support each other. Doing for the others nourishes me. Nourishing myself, I know, is my responsibility for the others. As a monk, it's like my responsibility to live a fulfilled um, life. So, yeah, and I also feel a lot of joy in this sense of um, safety in so many possibilities, that it's not about one particular situation or one particular pathway, but there are so many pathways, and that if I have my heart in the right place, then all of those pathways are safety and freedom and healing and beginning again. And I don't need to unnecessarily lock myself up. I can be open. Um, and I can feel that I have the tools to take care and to continue deepening and opening wherever I may happen to be. I'm very grateful for our community and the the success or the reach that I've been able to have online, and so many people that are concerned with me and interested in this path and these teachings and this community. I think it's mostly surreal, but I also take refuge in it. It's something I can trust in, I can rely on, like this space being a haven for practice and um, for deep sharing and deep listening. So, yeah, a lot of gratefulness for our community, and I think that's all I'll share for now.
And it's difficult not to become hooked and to respond and say that, well, I don't like this person, or that this person is someone that I hate, or they repulse me in some way. Um, I read somewhere once that never let someone bring you so low as to hate them. And I'm learning that if someone has their own anger or their own aggression or negativity that they live in the world, that's their problem. It's not mine. And taking on hating someone is like, what is it? Giving someone giving someone poison but drinking it yourself. There's some analogy to it. So I'm practicing being at peace when I'm surrounded by individuals who may view the world entirely differently, who, so they believe, thrive on the infliction of suffering and not reducing it, and that their choices are not my own, and that their pain is not my own, and I don't have to be angry at that person because it helps no one, but rather be the still person that I think we all aspire to be. We can be a candle for others. And there's a phrase out there, better to light a candle than curse the dark. So Buddhism has taught me how to be a brighter candle. And it's been something I've been working on. It's not easy, but I know in the end, it's the right thing to do. And thank you for listening.
Go ahead, Shadow, if you'd like to share now. But you'll have to unmute your microphone.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
My name is Shadow. So I went through a lot. Um, Starting back, I was probably, I don't know, maybe 8 at the time. I went through, I don't say it very often. Basically, I was raped over and over and blamed and told it was my fault, laughed at, told I should have defended myself. I was little. I was a child. Um, my, but my mom, all these people, and it's just like nobody did anything. And it ended up making me end up later on. And, so people needing me, people don't need to know me, like for me, but they'll kind of come into my life, be like, yeah, you're okay, and just leave. If that makes sense. Like, don't
Dear
really get to
Shadow,
know me. And I
dear
struggled
Shadow,
with all of them.
your microphone's breaking up quite a bit. Just started
Oh,
breaking
sorry.
up.
Is that any better?
Let's try it. Let's see.
Is that better?
Yeah, it seems like your connection may not be super stable.
Slapped.
Here, let's see if that helps at all.
There we go. Any better?
Maybe try to leave and then
Sorry.
come back. Disconnect and come back.
From the voice or from
From
the
the voice.
whole thing?
Yeah, from the voice. Okay, you want to try again now? You just have to unmute.
Is that any better?
That sounds better.
Thank you. There we go. Sorry. This phone was just not cooperating. Um, I don't know how much was heard. Uh,
Well, I do want to add just two things before you continue. I think you were coming through clear during the beginning part, what you shared, but one aspect of the practice is to be um, somewhat concise, right? So not
yes.
not oversharing, and then the other part also kind of goes in with that, which is uh, be careful about what you share, not to overshare, right? Because sometimes we can share too much and maybe we aren't ready to share that, but we think we are, or the other people in the group are not ready to hear it. So I think you're okay, but just to keep that in mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Basically, I went through a lot of stuff um in my life, And so I turned to meditation, kind of started practicing. Um, I don't know, it was a couple times a day, you know, for years. Like it took quite a while, and it helped me gain that sense of mm, I guess you could say clarity. It's more like it was a sense of okay, this happened, but that isn't you. That makes sense. Like you can get over this. You can help other people. You can use this experience uh, to grow and learn. And I do. I help a lot of people, other people when they need to just, even if it's just talking or listening or whatever. Animals, people. I love all sorts of just helping anybody, anything, and it really, really did change my life in that way. Just knowing that I got that kind of clarity from it in a way that because I couldn't kind of do that on my own. Like it was hard for me to, because I was kind of, oh, this is my fault. This is, this sort of bad stuff that you really gotta learn, from. And it kind of gave me that. So it was a good experience to have, and I still do it to this day. I still meditate to this day. So yeah, it was definitely very helpful and meaningful for me and for others. And I'm so glad I got into it and met you and everyone. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Shadow. For the people who joined in a little bit late, this is our Dharma sharing group. So you're invited to introduce yourself, share about your experience in meditation or healing, and whatever may be alive for you at this moment, you can share that. And the other side is being in this space and this way of just listening deeply. We're practicing meditation together, and that we're opening up our heart, our body, our mind, our ears to be with each other and to listen deeply. And if that comes up, then to share deeply. And we'll go for about another 15 minutes with our Dharma sharing group. Yeah, thank you, Scorpio, very much for what you shared. And I know that everyone appreciated that. I think some people left you some messages in the Discord chat, but it was all heard clearly. So thank you, Shadow. Okay, Jonathan, maybe you'd like to share? And in this space where the sharing is possible and we can practice this deep listening, it is a very alive field for practice. To open the heart, open the body, open the mind to this great, deep listening, this heart listening. And if there is something alive for you, if there is something you feel that you can share, or even just to introduce yourself, say a little bit about your journey, your experience, um, then even though you may feel the heart beating quick or the resistance to do that, that's where the generosity is. That's the offering. That's the giving away. That's the sharing out. So don't be shy to express that.
I can share a little bit. I don't know how much longer I'm able to stay on because of my schedule, but
Okay,
if that's okay, Bante.
go ahead.
I think I found um Bante's sangha through, I can't remember, um maybe almost a year now, and it was just really like a really deep uh connection that I felt, and kind of came at the right time. um I had friends that were in some form of Buddhist practice already, and I just I'm just learning day by day and trying to be fully present in my own life.
Thank you, Simcha.
I guess one other thing I wanted to add really quick, if that's okay, is it just kind of struck me. I realized how I was kind of sleepwalking through life. And something changed.
Okay, so we'll finish our Dharma sharing here. Thank you for everyone who did share. And let's move into a little bit of a meditation practice, some guided meditation instruction. You are here. Your body and mind are somewhat stable, somewhat healthy. You're somewhat attentive to what's happening right now. So, with that situation, go ahead and adjust the position or the posture of your body. So, find a comfortable, stable meditation position to sit in, to be in. It could be laying down, it could be standing up, but sitting upright, either cross legged or sitting in a chair, but sitting upright and having our shoulders back a bit, our chest open, our stomach, lungs area open. We can close our eyes and become aware of breathing. Become aware of the breathing that is happening. And seeing the breath as something very essential to what keeps this body and mind alive, knowing that and noticing the breath, start to follow it. Start to become more curious, interested in the breathing. It's very helpful if we close our eyes so that we aren't distracted by the world of images, colors, or shapes, but the mind kind of comes inside as we close our eyes. And then, with a curiosity and a sincerity, following the breath, watching the breath, as if it is something curious and unknown that is right in front of you. Notice all the different aspects of breathing. And as you connect, as you tune in to the breathing happening, all these different aspects of breathing in the belly and the chest and the nose, the sound, the feeling in the body, the different ways that we can breathe. Allow the breathing to invite the mind to come home to the body. So the importance of the mind, the reality of the mind, the heaviness of thinking, of mind, bring it all to the body. Allow the mind and body to come together. With this breathing process that's happening, that you're stepping into, that you're being with, allow the body and mind to reconcile, to come to terms, to come together, to be at peace with one another. Aware of the heart beating, aware of the breath flowing in and flowing out, aware that the mind has this tendency, this ability to pick and choose constantly. But right there with that ability is complete resolution, completely nowhere to go, nothing to do, nothing to pick and choose about, just breathing in, just breathing out. Relaxing, not any feeling or tension or part in particular, but relaxing, picking and choosing. And notice how accessible that relaxation of picking and choosing is, how natural it is, how effortless it is. Breathing in, breathing out. Releasing preference. allowing the body and mind to come together. The breath as this path, this way, this method, non-preference, non-picking or choosing, just dropping in, penetrating the breath, the heart, the body, the mind, open awareness. Exercising the forgiveness, offering the forgiveness to each sensation in the body, to each thought, to each preference that comes up, offering the blessing of the ending, forgiving, the finishing, the resolving. Okay, any questions before we finish our gathering today? We should have a relationship with meditation that is it's a joy, it's a safety, it's a freeing, it's a love, it's a wonderfulness. It's our life, it's our heart. It's not some exercise to do. It's not some get my 30 minutes in every day. Of course, you should try to encourage yourself. We should try to build a practice, right? Follow precepts, practice meditation, do actions of generosity every day, be a part of a sangha, listen to teachings for sure. But don't make this into some kind of struggle. You know, we're not here to be meditation bodybuilders. We're here to forgive ourselves and forgive the world. We're here to bless with resolution that doesn't rely on anything outside of ourselves or anything outside of this moment, this experience. And that's a real joy. That's a real blessing. That's something we can take to bed with us. That's something we can wake up with. That's something we can remember when we are tipsy-turvy on pleasure or joy or things going well. And it's also something we can remember when things seem to be falling apart. I am the resolution. I am the forgiving. And someone had asked earlier through a text comment about, different forms like opening prayers and salutations or sadhanas, dedications, things like that. Our forms are generosity and presence and willingness to be here and to keep showing up here and to offer refuge and to take refuge in the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha. We can say that. We can find out what that means. But also in this community, also in Sila, Samadhi, Panya, real virtue, real meditation, real wisdom, real insight. And other than that, the forms is just something that we can use. Meaning, like, how do we start? How do we end? How do we work with someone being a monk and someone not being a monk, right? How do we work with someone being a student and not being a teacher, and vice versa, right? How do these forms that we have, and we show up and we do our best, and generosity is at the core of it. The more we can give, the more we can receive. The more we can show up to help and to serve, the more we can try different forms, different ways of service. Does anyone have a question before we finish? Okay, so Keith Alt on YouTube says, when did and how did you see through the veil? Well, seeing, hearing, breathing, speaking. This is the veil. This is seeing through. And dear Shadow, I don't think that you overshared, but just something to be aware of. In this context, in this case, I think we were all safe. It was held safely, but just to be aware of that, because sometimes people do get into difficult situations of oversharing. But I think what you said was really appreciated, and the space is strong enough to hold it. I think a lot of people appreciated hearing your voice. And I'm grateful that you're here and that you're practicing and that you're willing and able to share. Okay, so let's finish today with a dedication of the merits. This is a bit of a form, a bit of a Buddhist idea. And basically when we come together, when we meditate, when we do actions of generosity, when we share deeply, when we listen deeply, when we embody nonviolence, when we embody good intention, we are not buying or selling. We're not trying to get over on ourselves, certainly, or on anyone else, but we're sharing. We're doing good. We're being mindful. We're, if I'm generous, maybe we're listening to the Dhamma, right? Our friends, our fellow practitioners sharing their experience, Bhante sharing his experience. When we do like that, we make merit. When we do good, we feel good. And our practice is that merit, whatever we accrue, whatever we gain, the more wealthy we become, the more generous we become. We offer out those merits. We offer out those good effects, that peace of mind, that feeling of confidence, that feeling of doing what we should do. We offer it out towards all beings. We practice that together. So I invite everyone on the Discord to unmute their microphones, and everyone who's watching in a different environment, you can also bring your hands together and repeat after me as we share our merits. Even if you're only here for a little bit of mindfulness, you've still got plenty of merits to share. So welcome to repeat after me. May all the merits that we have done till now be dedicated and shared out toward all beings.
Be dedicated
and share all
toward
beings.
all beings.
May all beings throughout space and time rejoice and share in our merits.
May all
May
beings
all beings
Now be
space
in
and
space and
time
time. Rejoice
rejoice
and share.
and
share.
share in the light.
Our merits.
May it be, may it be, may it truly be.
May it
May it
be,
be.
may
May
it
it,
be,
may it
may it
truly
truly
be.
be.
We can all take a deep bow. Thank you all for being here, and let's all do our best to continue on the journey and to kind of make our vow to really do our best, not backsliding, not middle sliding, but really continue to move forward and know that the community and I am here to meet you in your moving forward. Okay? Thank you, friends. Be well.
Thank you
Thank,
so much.
thank
Good
Bye-bye.
you,
night,
Bart.
everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Tara. And any of our YouTubers, don't be shy to leave a like, support the video that way. Sweet dreams.